Hey guys, it's Rose here again. Yay! Here to provide you with yet another video. Hopefully this one will help you um, to think about stuff in terms of how much things are actually changing for transgender people. I'm going to talk about a little bit of research that I've done and stuff that I've learned about in terms of things that have changed, things that are improving, and a little bit of what needs to be improved. But honestly, in the past 5-6 years, there's so much changed. Some of it is still ongoing. Uh, you know me, I need to do my hair. There we go. So yeah, this is a little bit about my research that I found. Yay! I will leave a link to where I got this information from so you can have a better look at it yourself, but hopefully this will help. So, just to start off, I found a little bit on the government's plans to help transgender people in schools and better education from the teachers. And the first one I found was providing better protection in schools for transgender people, and I think that is quite important, not only as a person that has been bullied, but also to make sure that transgender people are getting the same level of protections in schools. I would definitely say that is one of the problems at the moment. We're not being sort of protected equally as, say, other minority groups. You know what I'm like. Then we also have the government's plan to improve teaching quality. So instead of just talking about race in terms of skin color and religious beliefs, in the past few years it has been the LGBT part of the LGBT community. Now it's going to include teaching about what trans people have to face. Hopefully we can get to the point now that young people can sort of be out as their gender in their school and not have to face any sort of discrimination, and obviously that would probably be the most ideal thing. Also, the government has done some improvement with the work. There's now been more guidance for employees about what the law actually says in terms of protection. So now we are getting better treatment in terms of job prospects. Hopefully this will continue and people can realize they can't discriminate against us when it comes to finding a job, because we all need to work and we all want to work. I can only speak for people in England. If you're not from the UK, I do apologise for this. But in the UK, the job seekers, which is sort of like the staff that helps you find a job, they are being trained on the specifics that transgender people need, and again, sort of like how to tell trans people what protectional rights they are entitled to when it comes to looking for a job. Because again, we just shouldn't have to say we need special treatment, but unfortunately we do when it comes to employability. So hopefully that is going to improve, and you know what, I can tell from my experience that it has changed so much in the past 6 years. So we hopefully will get to the point where we're having the same job opportunities as everyone else. In terms of like health and social care, one of the biggest developments has obviously been better treatment. I think GPs are more aware of it. They now have a general idea of what to do. And also the NHS website is now including more information on gender identity and what transgender people actually have to go through in terms medically, and also it helps young trans people to sort of understand how the NHS works and things like that, and how to get started on. So yay! I mean, we'll get on to the bits that need to be changed, but you know what? It's getting better, hopefully. As I mentioned before, GPs are being trained to also how to deal with transgender referencing, and how transgender people can be just upset, and they don't sometimes know how to proceed, and the GP will be able to tell them what to do, and the GP can then refer them to the gender identity clinic and hopefully just tell them that it'll be okay and things like that, and hopefully they will get seen as soon as possible. In terms of identity and sort of like privacy, there's now been improvements for passport applications, so it's a lot easier for transgender people. You know, transgender people have the same rights of privacy and in terms of general information, and which has been put into the Equality Act of 2010. And you know, since I think there has been a lot more inclusion of trans people in the Equality Act of 2010, so we are just getting so much more protection, and you know, people now realise they can't dismiss us, and we can just, you know, be ourselves, and that's what we really want at the end of the day. So the law, because of the Equality Act, the law has become a lot more scrutinous in terms of hate crimes. So now there's sort of like harsher punishments in terms of length of sentence and things like that for people who do discriminate trans people, and it's now seen as a hate crime. It's now got to the point that if a trans person is murdered, that it will now have a minimum of about 30 years. So hopefully by teaching more people about the law, people will realise that they can't sort of, you know what I'm like. Yeah, more people can realise that we are protected, and that hopefully we'll get to a generation where it's kind of like they'll be disgusted at the wrongs that trans people do face sometimes. Finally, I want to talk about a bit of the things that do need to be improved, and hopefully through spreading this video, my friends' videos, and you know, just talking to people who work for the government and things like that. So definitely GICs in terms of waiting time. For example, I think when I was originally put on the Leeds one, before I got transferred to the Newcastle one, I was looking at 3.5 years in terms of waiting time, and that definitely needs improvement. And I think a lot of it is that people who are doing medical degrees, I don't think they really are seeing that area as important. So I don't think there's enough people being trained in sort of like gender reassignment surgery, sort of like being psychiatrists, and doing mental examinations for people who are trans. And I think that is something that definitely needs to be improved. Finally, I just think there needs to be an increase in the number of GICs, because I think me and one of my colleagues, we calculated there's only about 7 GICs in the whole of England, and with the amount of people coming out as trans, you know, that definitely needs to be improved. So hopefully we can get to the point where there's at least 5 or 7 or 8 more GICs popping up, and then hopefully people can be seen quicker and things like that. So yeah, that's the end of my video. Remember to like and subscribe. If you haven't checked out my other friends' videos, please do. And like I said, I will leave the website where I got all this information from, so you can read it yourself and you can have a better understanding yourself. But until then, see you guys later.